Every year, a new generation of NFL stars enters the league with massive contracts and limited experience in managing generational wealth. In the shadows of these multi-million-dollar deals, a predatory industry of advisors and associates waits to siphon away earnings through manipulative schemes and unauthorized investments. This breakdown investigates the tragic stories of players who trusted the wrong people, losing everything to those they considered family or reliable financial stewards. It is a sobering lesson on the necessity of independent verification, proving that even the most disciplined stars can be left destitute without rigorous, third-party oversight of their accounts. These are the superstars who learned the hard way that their greatest competitive advantage, their trust, was the very thing that destroyed their legacy. Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is a Hall of Fame linebacker whose defensive prowess redefined the game, but his foray into post-football business was far less successful. Lewis found himself entangled in complex investment structures and partnerships that failed to yield the promised returns, leading to significant financial friction. His case is a testament to how even the most prepared and mentally disciplined players can be misled by advisors who use their fame to legitimize shaky ventures. Lewis's experience highlights the volatility of private equity and the danger of assuming that a legendary reputation can serve as a shield against the fundamental risks of market failure. Furthermore, he discovered that his trusted attorney, Mark Rosen, had surreptitiously opened lines of credit in his name without authorization. This betrayal of trust resulted in a staggering loss of $1.7 million, proving that even within one's inner circle, vulnerabilities exist. Lewis's legal battle to recover these funds underscored the brutal necessity of maintaining active, independent oversight over every document signed. Ultimately, his story serves as a stark reminder that professional greatness on the field provides no immunity against sophisticated white-collar deception. Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis was a premier tight end whose explosive speed and physical intensity made him one of the most dangerous targets in the NFL. Despite a long and successful career, Davis was among the dozens of players who fell victim to the country-crossing bingo and entertainment scheme, an investment that promised massive payouts, but ultimately led to millions in collective losses for league stars. Davis, alongside other high-profile teammates, was sold a rosy picture by advisors who manipulated their trust to funnel capital into a project that lacked long-term economic viability. His story proves that even elite athletes who prioritize health and longevity are not immune to predatory financial schemes that exploit their desire for generational wealth. Beyond this specific disaster, Davis attempted to innovate by becoming the first active NFL player to have an IPO through Fantex, allowing investors to buy stock in his future earnings. While this move was groundbreaking, it highlighted the immense pressure and scrutiny placed upon modern athletes as they attempt to commercialize their personal brands. His career trajectory reflects the complex evolution of the athlete as business model, where financial success is tied to performance in ways that can be both lucrative and dangerously volatile. Navigating these corporate waters requires a level of fiscal literacy that is rarely taught within the confines of a traditional training camp. Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe was a cornerstone quarterback who signed one of the most significant contracts of his era, yet he faced major financial headwinds after his playing days when he invested in pay-by-touch. This startup, which aimed to revolutionize payments with biometric technology, was later revealed to be riddled with mismanagement and the legal baggage of its founder, which had been concealed from investors. Bledsoe and several other players sued the financial firm that facilitated the investment, alleging that their advisors failed to conduct even basic due diligence on a founder with a history of misconduct. His saga remains a textbook example of how institutional failures and the concealment of red flags can turn a seemingly innovative tech investment into a total financial disaster for even the most savvy players. The lawsuit revealed that Pay-by-Touch had burned through $137 million, despite generating minimal revenue, a detail that was conveniently withheld from the athletes. By blindly relying on the reputations of established financial institutions like UBS, these players were pushed toward a catastrophic investment trap. This case emphasizes that when investment pitches sound revolutionary, they are often masking deep-seated operational rot and criminal intent. For Bledsoe, it was a harsh lesson that, in the world of high finance, An advisor's prestige is often just a mask for negligent risk management. Blaine Bishop. Blaine Bishop was a four-time Pro Bowl safety for the Tennessee Titans, known for his grit and leadership in the secondary. After retirement, he was one of the many players swept into the hedge fund scheme operated by Kirk Wright, an advisor who was once endorsed by the Infilpa. Wright's scheme collapsed into a massive Ponzi operation, and Bishop, like many of his peers, saw his investments vanish as the truth about the annual returns came to light. The loss was not just financial, it was a profound blow to the players' trust in the league-sponsored programs meant to provide security. Bishop's involvement serves as a reminder that even when a player seeks help from approved channels, they must remain the primary auditor of their own financial future. The betrayal cut deep because the players had explicitly trusted the NFL's background checks, only to discover those safeguards were essentially non-existent. Bishop spent years fighting in court, hoping to hold the league and the union accountable for promoting an advisor who was clearly unfit for the responsibility. His struggle highlights the psychological toll of such schemes, which go far beyond the balance sheet to affect a player's sense of safety and professional dignity. Ultimately, his journey demonstrates that institutional endorsement is no substitute for rigorous, third-party due diligence. Ray Crockett. Ray Crockett, a two-time Super Bowl champion cornerback, was another high-profile athlete who suffered when the Kirk Wright investment scheme unraveled. Crockett was part of the group of former players who sued the NFL and the union, arguing that their financial security was compromised because the league failed to properly vet the advisors it promoted in its official registry. The loss was devastating, impacting the long-term planning for many of his teammates. His experience highlights the systemic vulnerability of NFL players who lean on institutional endorsements, only to find that those institutions may not be providing the rigorous protection they promise. It is a cautionary tale that underscores the necessity of total independence when managing wealth. The fallout from the Wright scandal left Crockett and others to deal with the public humiliation of having their life savings siphoned off for the perpetrator's luxury lifestyle. Despite the legal setbacks in the 11th Circuit, Crockett remained vocal about the need for systemic change in how athletes are protected from financial exploitation. His advocacy was driven by the knowledge that many younger players were walking into the same traps he had. By speaking out, he aimed to transform his personal misfortune into a warning for future generations of professional athletes. The stadium lights eventually faded, and for these legends, the challenge of maintaining their hard-earned wealth proved far more difficult than any defense they faced on Sunday. These stories aren't just about losing money, they are about the fragility of a life built on the assumption that the checks will never stop coming. The transition into the real world is a ruthless game of its own, one where reputation, trust, and reckless ambition can become the ultimate liabilities. Which of these financial disasters do you find the most alarming? Tell us in the comments. Hit that like button if you appreciate these deep dives. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next look into the hidden and often tragic side of professional sports.